a 10 times faster TypeScript. You would think something like that would excite the community, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a great news. This is, as a TypeScript user, this is a tremendous improvement to our current setup. So if you look at the benchmarks, it's a 10 times speed up for TypeScript for code bases with large lines of code. So I'm excited for it. There's plenty of video talking about the changes and the improvements, but I want to talk about something that's kind of bothersome for the dev community. Well, something like this, when I see this being overshadowed by a discussion about why the rewrite for TypeScript, not a rewrite, but a port of TypeScript from TypeScript itself. So TypeScript was written in TypeScript. This version, a 10 times improvement, was written in Golang, right? Another language from Google. And the whole community is talking about why are they using Golang instead of the other favorites, which is rUsT or even C#. So there's an actual GitHub post about why they justified their choice to go with Golang. Now, language war is not new in the development community. People tend to either jump on a hype language like rUsT, or they tend to defend their favorite language. So when a large company, TypeScript from Microsoft, decide to go against the grain, where rUsT is usually chosen for tools like that, for rewrites, dev tools, people ask why? Why don't you use rUsT? Why don't you use C#? Or even, because this is a Microsoft product, right? You would think they would use something like C#, another general purpose language, which is great. And as you can see, the very first post after the reasoning post, and you get a lot of thumbs down too, about, hey, why not use C#? It's an obvious choice. It's a competitor to Go. Let's use C#. So the author started to explain why they didn't use C#. It's a fantastic post. There's a lot of good info here about why they didn't went with C#. TLDR is Golang is much closer to TS, and it's a lot easy. It's optimized, for a tool like TypeScript. You don't need a lot of features from a lot of languages like C# or rUsT, but Go is really actually designed for this. And they actually benchmarked all of these languages and found out that Golang is the best choice. So I props to Microsoft. You have to pick the right tools for the job. Don't pick something just because it's popular. Don't pick something just because everyone's using it. You have to pick the right tool for the job. And of course, if you look at this post, so the actual post to announce the 10 times TypeScript, if you look him up, who is this guy? Anders Helsberg. So let's Google him. Who is this guy? Apparently, he's the person who wrote C#. He's the lead architect of C#. So the lead architect of C# and core developer of TypeScript. He decided to not use C# to rewrite to write the port, right? The native port of TypeScript TS compiler. So props to him. You can tell that's a great engineer, an engineer who has a goal, a mindset on the actual performance of his products rather than going with something that he created, right? Like C#. So this is a tip that I think a lot of folks like us as a developer in this community should really stop arguing about languages and instead pick the right tool for the job. So if you do that at your job too, I would say to stop wasting your time and try to view the approach from the perspective of how good is the language at solving your particular problem. And that would usually be the choice. So there you go. Let me know what you think.